Hello everyone, welcome to Rainbow Infinity. Today I'll be reading Dashie04's One Mare Story. If you like the reading, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please enjoy. A lifetime. Alone, sitting in the darkness, writing by candlelight, I reflect on what has happened in the last few days. The world was turned upside down, it felt, and I had no way of figuring out anything. I wrote out my life story, stained in ink, every mistake I'd ever made, but in no one scenario did I ever see Mare. That's what I've spent my nights so far doing, as well as listening to a singular album on repeat, again and again, somehow not having tired of it quite yet. It came out years ago, but I heard it once, a couple days ago, and it struck me deeply. Maybe I should have come out years ago too. Too bad I didn't know anything. But of course, while I have an idea on what I've become, I didn't know how I got there. I try to look at my nay unintelligible wing writing. Every little side thought I had pops into the scroll at the dumbest of moments. Great, I'm a drummer. Great, I don't like classical. But that has nothing to do with my current scenario. Close to nothing at all. I tried writing out every single note I could remember that told me who I was as a pony. But I wrote down headbands, and went on a tirade about people not liking cute things when I was a filly. Then I realized that was an early sign. So I talked about that. Then I talked about cross-dressers? I sigh. It's a mess. The entire scroll is a mess. Was there a way to start from the beginning? Did I want to write my old name out in plain ink? The old name I hated? I shake my head. I'd figured something out at least. This development shouldn't have been a new one, but it was. But what did that mean? Did it mean I was faking being a mare? Did I want to take the easy way out? But that felt impossible. When I learned about this thing, when I put in the album for the first time, it felt right. How would I fake myself into believing that? But there was a way I could stop it. I think that to myself, as the album starts the next track. I can't just let my brain run rampant. It is prone to doing such a thing, but I must stop it before it spirals too out of control. I take a deep breath and begin again. It all started on the day of my actual birth. And I already screwed up. It all started in the day of my actual birth. Crossing it out helps make me feel a little better. I continue writing, putting as much of my ADHD-addled brain on focus as I could. I write out the simple things that should have been signs, spending a bit on it, piecing together the little parts, to slowly reach a whole. I end up with a bullet point list of all the things that should have screamed mare far before a few weeks ago. I read the list, then reread it, then compulsively read it again, and again, until I feel I've squeezed every single drop of blood from the stone. Wore headbands in kindergarten. Liked the cute things. Had no issues with being mare-like. Chose the mare avatars. More attracted to the mare's clothing. Never believed being taught that stallions and mares had to be a certain way. I cross out that last one. That one feels off. The album cycles to another song, and I turn back to look at the player. It's my favorite song on the album, one that partially helped me discover my feelings. I think. The song screams directly into the dead space that occupies my room. Expletives, stating that the singer was so busy trying to be a stallion, she murdered all semblance of mare within her. I look back at the sheet, and slowly circle the last bullet point. I believed that stallions and mares had to be a certain way once. I was taught it. I grew out of it. But still, I was taught it. And just like the singer on this album, I let it inform my decisions, and I pushed all mare aside. I started tapping my hoof along with the drum beat, my brain kicking partially back into overdrive. If my realization is perhaps related to that, then I don't have a problem. How could I fake it if I didn't want to even fake it in the first place? The song ends right about then, it not being a very long song, and the next track starts playing. I take a sigh of relief and review my list. Did it matter what all the signs were? Did I have to know them? The logical part of the brain says yes. The rest, no. I have to know these things, but sometimes there's no shame in not knowing. So, I think to myself, what is that story of mine? I start writing it out. When I was a young, colt filly, I went to school. I wore headbands, and eventually took them out for being too mare-like. I never thought mare-like was an insult. I hid my best self from the world. I was told that stallions were one way and mares were another. The words sunk in. I became harsh, biting, traits which only went away when I learned that being different, having ADHD, was all fine. When I learned that weird was A-OK. I got my cutie mark, drumsticks, at a talent show. I found solace in music, the words reaching me in ways I never thought possible. I found an album that said that being mare-like was not only okay, that there were ponies who knew it means something more, that they were, too, in fact mares, or stallions, even, the other way around. I am one of those. There wasn't much to it, but there didn't have to be. I articulated my thoughts best in short bursts. I pushed the ink pen down a little harder for the next words. And my name is Rain. Thank you for listening in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Until next time, stay tuned.